Hello everybody, welcome to Red Tool House. Today we are expanding Kelly's garden. Do you want to run the machine? Do you want me to?
I'll do it.
You can if you want. Go for it. It's your garden. So the game plan is, as you know, with the layout of our garden, we are kind of tucked in a corner of a bench. Behind the excavator here is a decent slope. We're going to expand this back corner, and I'll detail that in a second, to our garden is kind of wedge shaped, so we're going to make it more rectangular. It's not going to be exactly rectangular because we're not going into the hillside that much, but we're going to cut some edges off there, put some drain pipe in, and then of course at some point we'll have to come back and amend the soil because this will all be dirt, sterile dirt that we'll be digging up here. So come check out what we've got going on. So this is the back corner of our garden. Here's our compost bin. Green beans still kicking for some reason, but the existing fence line you can see is where the garden was terminated, and then of course this starts the slope up, decent slope up to our big white oak and of course the edge of our woods. So the plan is there's a little ditch here that drains everything all the way back there where Dad's sitting on the tractor around my truck. Everything kind of drains around this way, so we can't just fill this in and not do anything about drainage, but we also don't want to keep a ditch there, A, for garden fence, a critter can crawl under, and B, we want to have every inch of this new area relegated for garden. Perhaps a bird's eye view is a better perspective. So you can see the corners of our posts there beside the greenhouse and all the edge of the woods that make up the front of the garden, its width, and then how it tapers all the way to the back. So we're going to remove some of that taper. Over on the white trailer, got 60 feet of 6-inch drain line that we'll put in. So we'll put the line in first, get it backfilled, and then come back and start cutting our shape out of the hillside. Straighten a little bit here so that it's leverage. Little schmutz. Story of my life. My life is a ever-revolving complication with schmutz. All right, so we got the project done, or this project at least. So brought the boss out here, let her eyeball it before we take the equipment off the hill. So what do you think?
It's a big difference.
It is a big difference. Yeah, well, let's walk over here and we'll show you while we show them.
Okay.
So now we can get behind the compost bin with a tractor or even a truck if we had to. Wouldn't see any reason to. I could have used about 10 more feet of pipe, because I think I would like to have stopped about right here at the corner of the compost bin, but it is what it is. And we can see that it's the little clean out hole I made is already working because it's gathering water. Not sure where that's coming from, but hey, it's West Virginia. Water comes from everywhere. Yes, it's airware. Now this soil will have to be amended, of course, so we're going to have to, if we're going to plant anything in it, we're going to have to really do some work because it is as sterile clay as it gets. Many of you may be asking, why didn't I take down the fence and feather the rest of this out? Because you can see there's actually a little bit of a notch there.
That's what I was asking.
You were asking that?
I was thinking that.
Yeah, all right. Well, the issue is, I've got all kinds of great soil right here, and I hate to just bury it. B, wasn't ready to take down the fence because there's still stuff growing in the garden, and that's an open invitation for the deer. And C, you can see right here are my elderberries, my transplants, and they're really doing well. And I'm not ready to transplant them until a couple more months. So I didn't want to just bury all of those either. So what we'll be able to do prior to spring planting, I can pull the fence down, come in and obviously take out my transplants, transplant or come free if we want to, take the fence down, and then of course get in here with a tractor and knock this down, smooth it out. I could even scrape up the topsoil first, all the good stuff, put it in a pile, and then dress everything down. I do have some bad news though. I dropped an Osage orange on the blue spruce. I didn't kill it, but it's got a gangster lean now. But that sugar maple's been shading it all this time though. We planted that blue spruce. What's it been? I mean, that was 20 years ago. We planted like 20 blue spruce all along this line here. We wanted blue spruce kind of as a privacy shade against the county road, because when the leaves are off, you can kind of see in the backyard. So 20 years ago, that thing is only that tall. It amazes me. That's the only one that survived, and it's been stunted. And now I just dropped an Osage orange across it. So anywho, so you can see with overall square footage, if we took the garden extension all the way to our vertical face, then we pretty much doubled the size of the garden just in this area. And of course, we, depending on how we navigate this corner, if we come back with a straight line or if we do a notch, so it's give us plenty of garden space for next year.
Yeah.
You don't like the look of that? Now, actually, this is actually, I'm really not quite ready to unveil this plan yet because I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it. But this is where I want to incorporate multiple things. From a permacultural standpoint, we'll be doing some function stacking here. So imagine if the garden comes all the way to here, and we can put a retaining wall in here of either long-lasting material, or my thought was even just regular wood that would start to decay and break down, because we'd actually want to promote some of that, if that makes any sense. But garden stops here on the hillside, using wood in the same manner, just making makeshift terraces with slabs off the sawmill. So just 12-inch, 10-inch wide planks that are put strategically up the hill, run fence both ways here, predator-proof fence for chickens, place a very small chicken coop here, so maybe 10, 12 chickens at most, and those chickens would have a smaller area, a run to be in, with those boards to act as terraces, and do wood chip, do grass clippings, leaves, scraps, all those type of things, kind of like what we see edible acres do. They do it flat, but take advantage of gravity. So as the chickens get in and scratch, they're going to kick the wood chips and their manure and all those things. It's just going to keep kicking it over and down and down. And if we have a high wall here that catches that, then how cool would it be to be able to come along behind here, with the pitchfork or the shovel and just keep shoveling off what should be really good compost as they move it down the line. Still got to work out the logistics on that, but that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we definitely want to do something here eventually to retain it. It's going to settle. I'd like to come in and dress it up more. Those are the things that a good excavator operator could dress that up really nice and it'd look nice, but I ain't one of those. So fast forward, it's been almost exactly a week later. Still don't have any rain, and the ground's still pretty dry. We even had our little ditch start to hold water here, and then that even dried up. So we haven't been able to test out our pipe yet to see how that works. Heading into the winter months, we need to get some ground cover on here. I thought about going ahead and trying to cover the whole thing in wood chips to be able to keep erosion down and mud from being an issue. But I got to thinking, I really want to try to amend this soil with something that'll grow here. So I was talking to my local feed and seed store. They recommended around this area with this clay trying to do winter wheat and winter rye. So I got 10 pounds of that. I'm going to seed this in here in the next 2 weeks and see how that goes. Of course, I need to water and do all that. I'm trying to keep an eye on the rain. I'd love to seed it right before it starts raining, but it's really dry right now. So planting anything would be tough without having some water. So got an IBC tote. I don't know if you can see it from here. It's on around the point there. IBC tote full of water. So we may try to gravity feed that or put a little pump behind it to give it some extra oomph. Well, since I'm pretty much standing here in the dark, I did want to announce there is an Olight flash sale going on tonight, the night that you're seeing this video. So it'd be Thursday, September 24th. Starts at 8 p.m. and runs for 26 hours, I believe. I'll post some details below in the video description. I haven't run into one of the Olights I don't like yet. So they keep sending them to me. I keep putting them everywhere. So I've got flashlights all over this place. So check that out if you're interested. If you haven't, if you've been wanting to get an Olight, but you've been waiting for a good sale, this is a good one. They've got a bunch of bundles coming out as well. And we're also going to do another drawing. I've got a couple more days for our last flashlight winner to respond, and he hasn't yet. So I'll post his name right here. If this is you, please email me, respond to my email, troy@redtoolhouse.com, and let me know that you've got the email and give me your mailing address and I'll send it. If you don't respond here in the next several days, then we'll do another drawing. But I have another IT3 that we're going to give away. It's red, it's sexy. So we'll give that away once we get this one given away. All right, take care everybody.